Like many young people in Athens, in Plato the fire had been lit by Socrates in the market square, driving his fellow Athenians spare with his sharp examination of the lives they lived there, and his even sharper wit. Socrates was a showman, but beyond that Plato saw, through the twists and turns of his arguments, he was aiming for so much more. Forget the entertainment. What Socrates tried to give was assistance to every Athenian in finding the best way to live. An educational, aspirational, confrontational program of campaigning that galvanized young Plato, but Athens found too draining. The state execution of Socrates for the unwelcome guidance he gave was a bitter lesson for Plato in the way many humans behave. Hostile to those who question their thinking, defensive from cradle to grave. It echoes through his famous piece, The Allegory of the Cave. Picture a cave full of prisoners, in chains in a dark world of stone, kept underground, limbs tightly bound. It's the only life they've ever known. A fire behind them, their only light. Clamped by the neck, they can't move at all. Unable to turn, the chains are too tight. Staring at shadows on the cave wall. Now imagine that we are those prisoners, eyes glued to the wall night and day. Shadows inspire every thought that we think, inform every word that we say. This shadow world, this is reality. Life can be no other way. Then, all of a sudden, one prisoner shakes off his chains and breaks free. He turns, his eyes stung by the fire, but as they adjust, he can see strange objects. They cast all the shadows, and beyond them a glimmer of light at the mouth of the cave, so he makes his way out. What a world! What a dazzling sight! The power of the sun, a radiant force for good. In the light of reason, so much more is understood. Exhilarating colours, wonders waiting to be found, a life to live beyond that grim existence underground. But then, when he staggers back into the cave to share this sensational news, out there is a light that will change your lives. Break these chains, you've got nothing to lose. The believers in shadows feel only fear, scream at the madman not to come near, attack him for threatening all they hold dear, and disturbing their set-in-stone views. And that's the reception some thinkers get, like the one young Plato admired, though when Athens silenced Socrates, his pupil ensured it backfired. If Socrates the man in the flesh could not be heard, Plato promised Socrates the voice, the final word.